Hello everyone, you are most welcome to my channel. So today we shall be implementing bubble sort in Python. Hey, you are most welcome to my channel once again. My name is Ronnie Athaire, aka Afroboytex, and I'm glad that you're here. Today we shall be learning how bubble sort works and then how to implement it simply in Python. So as you can see here, I have a graphical image here that is being displayed and it exactly tells us how bubble sort works. It basically loops through the numbers in an array and checks if the number next to it is less or greater than the other ones. Just swaps the two numbers. So as you can see here, 3 is being swapped, 1 has been swapped, this one has been left, 2 has been swapped, 4 and 7 has been swapped, 7 and 8 have not been swapped because these ones are constant. So the algorithm continues on and on until all the numbers in an array are sorted. As you can see here, 1, 3, these ones are not sorted, these ones now are sorted because the next number is less. So it continues doing that until all the numbers in the array are sorted correctly. Yes, so let's get started. So we shall start by defining the function. We shall call this function bubble sort. Yeah, let's call it bubble sort. And this function is going to take in an array. We can call this an array, and then this array of ours, we shall see what to do with it. So before we begin, as we've seen, there's the most important thing we've seen there is swapping. So we shall declare a variable, call it swapped, and we set it to true. Then we shall use a while loop. While the swapping continues, that means we are still iterating through and we're still swapping. So we shall use a while function here. So while swapped, so while true, in other words, while swapping is true, let's continue doing whatever you're doing. Let's continue iterating through. Now here we shall use a for loop. Now for any number now in that array, we're just going to compare them. Then after comparing them, then we swap them. So we shall say for I in range length of the array minus 1 the reason why I did a minus 1 here is because the length of array is usually, let's say the array is maybe 5 numbers in it. So the 5 numbers in it, that means 5 is the length. But if you want the indexing is you're going to remove 1 because of 0 indexes, because all programming languages have interacted with start with 0 as the index. That's why you had to minus 1 here. Now then we compare the list data, then we swap. So what we're going to do is if, shall use an if statement here. If an array at that particular point is greater than the array, the next point, which is greater than array on the next point, so we shall say in the next index we shall just add a 1 here, a plus 1. If that array is greater than that, then we shall do a swap. That's it basically. So here we shall say array. So swapping this is basically we have something called unpacking in Python. You can just use this to do the swapping. What you can do is you swap this array at I. So you're swapping this array at I at that particular index with the next array. So basically you're calling this function, this array again. So I can just Control C, Control V here. Then that means I'm calling this again, since now I'm swapping. So this will be equal to one is the one, the value that comes here first, then this will be the one equaling to the next value. So I call this one again. So basically what I'm doing here is swapping. So I come and copy this, Control V, and then we set the flag that is swapped. Now we set it to true because we've swapped. Then we end our loop with a return statement. That's it, I think. With a return statement. So every time we swap, there's something we need to do here. So every time we swap a value, we set this flag to true. But what if we don't swap? So we need where we don't swap so that we break the loop, otherwise this loop will continue running. So we can just come here on top and say swapped because it's false. Save this. Now we run our program with a test. So you're going to do a test here. So you shall call here an array. We shall say test array. Let me call it test array, which is going to be equaling to let me just put in here random numbers, 12, 43, 54, 2, 122, 47, 22, 10, 5. That's it. So we shall now call our function. So to call our function, we just say, we shall just print it to the console, and that's we call in our verbal sort, which takes in test array. We save, then we go to run our program. Program, yeah, you see that our value is being sorted 22, 43, 47, 54, 122. Yeah, so our array has been sorted. That's it. In case you need more information about this, kindly check the description for the blog, and check the description for the GitHub link. Thank you so much. Have a blessed one.